Scoob comes to us from multiple different people. There are 3 story by credits and 4 screenplay by credits. Some of their credits include Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Chip, Rampage, and Playing with Fire. Here we get to see young Shaggy adopt Scooby-Doo when he was a little puppy. He was a stray and Shaggy had no friends. They eventually met Fred, Daphne, and Velma, and they went on supernatural mystery excursions together, as you may have seen from the original TV show, or any of the spin-off shows, or the 2 live-action feature films. But this time around, this guy named Dick Dastardly, voiced by Jason Isaacs, finds out that Scooby-Doo is like the ancient ancestor to some kind of something, and Scooby has to touch he has to touch something that activates a portal. I watched Scooby-Doo occasionally when I was a kid, but it was never like a mainstay of my household, and the reason why is because I was always pissed off that whatever it was they were chasing ended up being a guy wearing a suit. I always wanted the ghost or the werewolf or the vampire to be fucking real. I didn't want it to be a guy in a goddamn suit crying about those meddling kids. That's why I liked watching shows like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, or The X-Files, shows where the paranormal stuff was real in the confines of the show. I didn't like how in Scooby-Doo it was always fake. So when it comes to this movie, they have a mixture of both. They have some people who are pretending to do things, and there are some actual supernatural elements to the film, which was a pleasant surprise. The movie is... wow, I'm actually trying to find good things to say about it, and I'm running out. Frank Welker as the voice of Scooby-Doo is fine. I think that might be it. I've never seen a film in control of an IP, a property, in this case, Scooby-Doo, be so ashamed of its property. This movie does not want to be anything like Scooby-Doo. It is aggressively modern in every way. It's filled with a lot of today's songs. They try to wrap a superhero Avengers-like plot into this thing where they meet up with Blue Falcon, voiced by Mark Wahlberg, and his super dog Dino Mutt, and they go on adventures in a ship. Shaggy and Scoob get separated from Fred, Daphne, and Velma, people that you only really got about 10 to 15 minutes with in the opening of the movie as kids. Then we cut to them older, and they're apparently a team now. And the first scene we get with them is an argument where Simon Cowell appears and suggests that maybe the team doesn't work well together. And Simon Cowell ruins their friendship. Then they separate, and Shaggy and Scoob are off on their superhero adventure while everyone else is trying to figure out where they went. You never really get a sense of these characters within this movie. The movie really wants you to have seen every show, every spinoff, and every other film involving these characters as if that was somehow backstory, when it's not. This movie is a fresh start. We have a little tiny opening with Shaggy and Scoob getting to know each other, and then for the rest of the movie, all the characters are basically separated, and you don't know a goddamn thing about them. They're just the caricatures that you expect them to be from the show. There's nothing new or interesting about this movie. It's taking a property that most people like and just trying to make it fit into 2020, and it does it in a really cringe-worthy way. Another thing that was weird was the time frame. Where are we supposed to be? Like, the movie opens with Shaggy as a little boy, and the first thing you hear is Tupac's California Love, and then somebody goes by on rollerblades holding a boombox playing that song, and I was like, okay, so is this like the 90s or something? Okay, Shaggy's a little boy, I get it, it's the 90s. But then he pulls out a smartphone, and I was like, wait, where are we? What time is this? Then we cut to them as like adults, and I'm like, okay, is this in the future? Or is this now? And what the fuck just happened? Explain it to me, Scooby! Okay, full disclosure, before quarantine, I had no plans to review this movie. But now, you know, desperate for new content, and it's released on Amazon. I paid $20 for it. I had to watch this movie in increments. I found it so boring and so completely uninteresting that I could barely sit down and watch the whole thing. I had to watch 10 minutes here and there, move around the house, go from the phone to the TV. I couldn't watch this entire movie in one sitting. I found it so uninvolving, and honestly, it's just the dumbest fucking thing I've seen this year. It really is. I've seen a lot of dumb shit this year. Nicole Brown Simpson movie. And the best way I can describe it is just to say what I already have, which is they have an IP that people like, but they clearly see all of these problems with it. And they try to keep certain things like the 1960s van, the Mystery Machine, but it's taking place in today with these kids who are talking about smartphones and saying like modern day social media buzzwords all throughout their movie. But they have all these 1960s things as well. And they're trying to find a way to mash it all up to somehow make kids today not be bored. But kids today still watch Scooby-Doo and they're not fucking bored. Like, there's new Scooby-Doo cartoons that little kids like to watch. I've just never seen a company be so ashamed of their IP that they just try to change it drastically to make kids today like it, when it was already fine before. I'm going to give Scoob a D. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. I'll be back very soon with some movies I'm sure you actually want me to talk about. Oh, man. I have a few hilariosities I've already shot and edited. Those are going to be coming out very soon. Thanks, guys, as always. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.